The former ACLU General Counsel, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, at the Supreme Court hearings today on severability, begging to salvage Obamacare. Don't wreck it all. Please don't wreck it all. Cut one, go.
Mr. Clement, there are so many things in this act that are unquestionably okay. I think you would concede that.
Stop. Okay, can you list 20 of them? Justice? So many things. Can you list 20 of them? I'm just curious. There's so many of them. I'm sure there's scores and scores and scores of them. But if you're now going to legislate instead of adjudicate, just tell us. Go ahead.
You're authorizing, what is it, the Indian Health Care Improvement Act, changes to the black lung benefits. Why make Congress redo those? I mean, it's a question of whether we say everything you did is no good, now start from scratch.
Stop. We're not saying everything you said is no good, now start from scratch. What we're saying is you've handed us 2,700 pages. You rushed it through Congress. You're now asking us, the justices, to do what Congress didn't do, read it, go through it, act like legislators, real legislators. And maybe the Indian this and that act is fine, or the Black Lung Act is fine, and so forth, but that's not the end-all and be-all of this statute. It's massive. It covers a hell of a lot more than that. All Congress would have to do then, ladies and gentlemen, is what? Just send a new statute to the president that covers whatever Congress wants to cover in a way that's constitutional. What's bothering Ginsburg, just follow me on this. What bothers the four utopian status activist justices is that temporary Congress, the one before, is gone. That Congress is gone, but their dirty work is in front of the court. And so Ginsburg knows that Congress is gone. She knows there's a Republican House. She knows there are enough Republicans in the Senate to filibuster now. They know an election's coming up, and the Republicans may well take the Senate, if not as well the presidency. So what Ginsburg is really saying is we've got to keep as much of this as we can, whatever we keep, whatever it says, because that Congress, our beloved supermajority Democrat Congress that did this, is gone. So if we send something back to Congress, that is, if we knock out the individual mandate and leave it at that, we knock out the individual mandate and say there is no severability here because we can't figure all this out. That's a legislative function, not our function. This isn't some simple statute where we can say, okay, Section A is gone, but Section B, C, D, and E can stand. No. There's 2,700 pages to this thing, which was the intent of Congress, to make a very long, complicated bill with parts that intertwine. What Ginsburg is saying is, please, let's keep as much of this as we can, because that Congress that I liked is gone. And this Congress, and the next one probably, they're not going to pass anything like this. That's what she's saying. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
To say, yeah, there are many things in here that have nothing to do, frankly, with the affordable health care. And there are some that we think it's better to let Congress to decide whether it wants them in or out. So why shouldn't we say it's a choice between a wrecking operation, which is what you are requesting, or a salvage job?
Stop right there. A wrecking operation or a salvage job. Can I tell you a little secret? Just between us. If the court knocks out the individual mandate, Congress still has massive leeway to pass a big, fat, centralized, all-encompassing health care law. It's true. Remember how I started off the program? I'll stop whispering. Remember how I started off the program with the Social Security and unemployment statute? The 1937 Supreme Court decision? That decision permits Congress, not the Constitution, mind you, but that decision, relied on by the court, permits Congress, I hate to say this, I don't want to say this, to pass a single-payer direct tax for benefit plan. Yes, it does. Do I think it's constitutional? No. Does the Supreme Court? Yes. If it follows its 1937 case and some others. Ginsburg knows this. So it's not a wrecking operation, and it's not the justice's job to do a salvage job either. Congress has enormous power, even outside the Constitution, thanks to this Supreme Court. Not these members, but this Supreme Court. She's upset because the Democrats don't have supermajorities in both houses. I'll be right back.